Hello, audience. Hello. Good afternoon to you all, or good morning, wherever you may be in the world. I hope you're well. I hope you're having a good day. Today, we have a lovely sister. I'm so proud. I'm so happy uh, to share with us amazing things, to share with us some ripple effects that we can really enjoy from making little shifts in our life. Today, we are going to be talking about self esteem and self love, which is a vital key to business success.
It's frozen.
Very often, we lack self love. Very often, we lack self esteem. And this may come from a very, very long event or situations or education that we had. So please come join me, share out this live stream with your family and friends. Share out this with your family and friends so they can also enjoy this discussion and can also change their life. I see we have one viewer, and thank you so much. We know
frozen.
it's frozen for her, but we'll keep going because I think it's going to work. Let's just keep going and we'll see what happens. So to start off this conversation, we have a quote for you which states, "Until you value yourself, you won't value your time. Until you value your time, you will not do anything with your time." And this is from Scott Beck. So let's just see if it's working for her. Hello, Andrea. Can you hear us? Yes, Nathaniel, you can attend one of this. We're going to send you a request.
I can't hear nothing. It's frozen.
It's frozen. It's frozen for Andrea. So maybe Andrea will log off and log on again. Andrea, would you like to log off and log on again? Let me just send her a request if she can see it. Yes, she's going to log off. So, Nathaniel, please tell us where you're watching this live stream from. We'd love to hear where you are in the world. I am in Geneva, Switzerland, and I hope you're well. I am the founder and CEO of the African Women's Economic and Entrepreneurship Forum, the place where we challenge the status quo for economic advancement of women in Africa. So please come join me. Share out this video with your family and friends. Share it to those who matter to you because it's going to be an amazing conversation. Even though we're having technical problems, let's just stay here and see if Andrea. Let's see. We'll just give her a few minutes. While we wait for her to come back on, I would like each one of you to please reflect upon this quote of the day. Until you value yourself, you won't value your time. Until you value your time, you will not do anything with it. How true is that for you? How true is that in your business, in your life, and in your relationships? How much of your time do you value? Do you value your time at all? Do you value yourself at all? Please comment below. Let us know where you're watching this live stream from. And we would appreciate any feedback that you may. Oh, Andrea is having really hard time, some technical problems, but we're not going to give up. We're going to wait because, okay. Please bear with us. We are having some technical problems. We'll wait for Andrea to try to log on. Again, let's see. Okay, let's see. Oh no. No, I don't need it. This one. Let's see if it's going to help her. Please bear with us. Please bear with us. Thank you so much for your patience. This is the truth of live streaming. It happens, technical problems. We've been having problems in Europe with electricity, with internet connections, so please bear with us. Let's just give Andrea a few more minutes, and I'm sure she will be back. How is your week? How was your week? How much did you achieve this week? Let's see if she's gonna make it. If not, we'll have to just reschedule. So while we wait for Andreas, I would like to know, so far, we're almost at the end of this month. 2018 is here. How much have you achieved in this 1 month? Did it make any difference for you? Did you have the time to think of how you want to go with your business in 2018? Did you have the time to start creating some connections? Did you have the time to reflect if you would like to attend conferences, do more live streams so people get to see you, do more networking? Do let us know. Let's see, Andreas is, let's see, she has sent a message. Let's see. She's, okay, let's see. Okay. Okay, I think, okay, just bear with us, please don't go away. We are doing our best to have this conversation. Let me see, I don't see Andreas in the lobby. Let's see. Or maybe I will just log off and back. I will be back. Just bear with us. Don't go away. Stay where you are. Let's see. Back again. This is Be Life for You. It does happen. Oh, she's back. She's back. Yes, 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 yes. Never give up. Never give up. Yes. I'm so happy. Oh.
Live. Is it going live again? Yeah. Are we live?
Yes. She's back.
Oh, I don't know what's going on this morning, but we will do this.
No worries. Today is not the day for everybody. The day started in its own way, but we're here. We didn't give up.
Oh my goodness. Oh wow. Okay, we're here.
We're here. Exactly. That's what matters. You know, never give up. True example.
Yeah.
Real life cases.
Of course. You can say that again.
Real life cases.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so let's dive into our discussion before the internet goes strange again. So today we're going to talk about self-esteem and self-love, a vital key to women's business success. And we have an amazing coach today from the UK by name Andrea Busola.
Yes.
She
All
is a
of that.
relationship coach, helping women go from chasing to being chased in love and in their relationships. How amazing is that? Andrea, thank you so
Okay.
much for accepting our invitation. Thank you so much for not giving up, even though the internet is playing games with us today.
I know the thank you so much, Lillian. Thank you for having me on your show. I know we've been talking about this for nearly a year now, so it's good to join you on the platform here. Yes, thank you. So, yeah, let's just kick off. Well, like Lillian said, I help single successful business women to find the man that they'll like to eventually marry and create the kind of relationship they'll like to have together that would last forever. And that is what I do. So I'm a relationship coach, and I also help married women to find their voice so that they can flourish in their relationship. So that is what I am about. So thank you for this opportunity. There, yeah. So
You're welcome. And many people will be asking, what does this have to do with, with business? What does this have to do with finance? But
I
you see
know.
why she's here, and you will understand. So please share out this video with your family and friends so they can come join us. Let's talk. It's time to talk about love, sex, money, everything that's necessary in life right here on the Awiv Talk Show. So today, Andreas, let's be honest here. We women fool ourselves day in, day out that caring for others and putting ourselves last is a declaration of how much we care, which is true. Which is true. But nurturing ourselves first is important. So why are we women shying away from self-love?
Well, I wouldn't say we're shying away from self-love. I would say that we don't know the importance of filling our own cup before we start to give to other people. And I always like to use the analogy of a big teacup. So if you imagine that as women, we're big teacups, and say you've had a good sleep in the morning, in the night, and you wake up, your cup is full, and you've rested very well. Your cup is full of tea, and then you start your day and you start to give out. So if you have children, you prepare them to go to school. If you have work, you check in into work, you do emails. If you have to make breakfast, prepare the dinner in advance. All of these things you're giving out of yourself. And by the end of the day, your cup will be empty, and you will be tired
Yeah.
if you don't make a conscious effort to actually give back to yourself. So I don't think I don't think we do it deliberately. It's because a lot of people don't know, and it's because a lot of people coming from where we come from, say African women, we are built to nurture and we're built to nourish other people. And the tradition of, your place is in the kitchen and at home, looking after the looking after the home, looking after the family. It totally takes us away from putting the spotlight on ourselves. So I think as women, we don't have that tradition, and we haven't been brought up to put ourselves first. So yeah, that is what I would say.
This is a very delicate subject to dig into, and I'm very proud and honored that you are the one handling it because no one. I've been watching you for, as you said, more than a
I
year.
know. I
So
know.
I have a sense of the love you have inside for your son, your
Thank
spouse,
you.
your work,
Thank
and
you.
all the people around you, including me. That just
Thank
met
you.
on the internet, and we have no family connection. And the care that you give to me, you keep checking on me because you know what I'm going through. You keep checking on the kids. I
Thank
am
you.
grateful. I am grateful for you supporting this community, supporting
Thank
me,
you.
and
Thank you.
supporting other women out there. So thank you so much. But
It's a
I'm
pleasure.
grateful, even more grateful, because you're also taking care of the men that I am not venturing into. So you're this. I see you as the balanced sister, and I'm
Thank
great.
you.
I'm grateful for you.
Thank you. Thank you, Lillian. That is such an honor, and thank you. It's such It's good to hear that, the validation from you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for everything you've done for me. Thank you.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure. You're a strong woman. I don't want to go into that on this show.
Yeah,
I have mad respect for
second
you,
round.
and I have to say, for what you do, I doff my heart, and for in recent events, I really appreciate you and the strength that comes with it. So I
Thank
have to say, well done, well done.
thank you. It's
Well
because
done.
of people like you. So, as we are now in the emotional side of our question, what adversity led you to this?
Okay. Well, to be honest with you, I don't like that word adversity. I like to say challenges. I mean, I know the kind of, they're similar, but I think the word adversity is really strong. And I know that we do go through things that, that we weren't expecting, and it just changes the whole life and the whole dynamics of things. But for me, I think my what led to this for me is the fact that a few years ago, um, well, a couple of years back, this is I would say maybe 16, 17 years ago, I was a I was successful in my career, and I was single, and I was looking to settle down, and I had history of dating all the wrong men, and I had history of dating all the wrong men, and it wasn't something that I did deliberately. I just found myself in this situation. I just found myself in, being with all the wrong people for all the wrong reasons. And the more I was in those situations, in those relationships, the more my self-worth and my self-esteem took a nosedive. And but I didn't know where all of this was coming from. And until I really started, I stepped back of the situation, I stopped dating, and I decided to look at it from the outside, look inward from outside. And then I realized that I've been carrying around a root of rejection, in me, because when I was growing up, my dad wasn't there. So, sometimes you have fathers who are there, but they're not emotionally there. In my case, he wasn't there physically, and he wasn't there emotionally. But in saying that, that doesn't mean that girls don't grow up to be all that they've been created to be. It's just that there is that little bit of not knowing what to do, when when you come of age and you want to start dating. You don't know what to do. You don't know how to do it, because you don't really have a role model in that situation. So that was where I was coming from. But I didn't realize that I had this root of rejection in me. I didn't realize that I didn't know how to take care of myself. And this is not in the physical, this is like an internal thing where you don't know how to take care of yourself. Like you said, we're built to give, give, give. So in my previous life, I was an overgiver.
Uh,
So I would give, 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 give until I became tired, until I became irritable, until I became resentful. So for me, this journey of self-love started for me about 17 or 18 years ago now. And I was in a relationship that was not right for me, but I was hanging on with my dear life, thinking this is it, this is it. I was about 27 at the time, and I was looking to get married. I was looking to settle down. I wanted to have children, and it wasn't happening. And then, to make matters worse, the guy I was with, we dated for 3 years, and in the 3 years that we dated, he was dating someone else, and
oh
I
my,
didn't know. And eventually he got this person pregnant and came back home to say, oh, this happened, but I still want to be with you. And I actually said, oh, okay. It was like I didn't have a choice. So for me, coming out of that situation, working on my mindset, making self-love a priority for me, putting the spotlight on myself, looking after myself, doing mirror work and telling myself that I am a pretty woman, I can get any man that I want,
yes,
and just working on my mind and improving my mindset and having a clear picture of what I want in a future partner change the dynamics of my relationship, change the dynamics of my love life for forever. And like they say, I met my husband 16 years ago this year. I wasn't chasing him. I wasn't desperate. He came and he wanted to be with me. He made his intentions known. And we got married, and we're still together by the grace of God. 16 years down the line, and he allows me to be all that I have been created to be. So for me, when I look back, I can't say it's adversity. I can only say, oh, thank you to that gentleman who
Yes.
treated me like rubbish. And I'm also thankful that I chose not to stay in that relationship because I felt that I can do better than that. So yeah, so in a sense, yes, for me it was devastating when he came home and said somebody else is pregnant, but I still want to be with you. And I actually considered it until I said to myself, no, I can't do that. That is not the picture of my future. That is not what I had plans for. So I
Yes.
had to take a leave from the relationship, and I'm glad that I did. So this is how my journey started. So I started so 4 years ago, I stayed home to be with my son because he was starting primary school. So I decided I was going to start helping women. I was at home and I thought to myself, what can I do? I know that there's so much in me. I know that I carry so much in me. And I meet a lot of women who talk to me, single women, single successful women who are looking to settle down, married women who are in their relationships where they feel stifled, they don't have a voice. And I'm thinking I can do something. And that was what came, that was how loving yourself more came into being at the time. I called my business Loving Yourself More. And then recently I rebranded and I call it Flourish in Love with Andrea Onodeko.
Great, great, great. I love it. I mean, there are very few people. There are very few people who've just, met the right person at the right time and they settle down and everything is working for them. There are very few
Yeah,
people. It has happened.
yeah,
So yes,
yeah,
you are right in not using the word adversity because it happens very often, and I think it's part of life, even though it
yes,
might have been difficult. Well, yes, nothing good comes easy, but look at you where you are today, and sharing
yes,
with other women. That's really a joy to see how things evolve when we when we make the decision to start loving ourselves and not putting ourselves in this victim situation and just accepting what is thrown upon us.
exactly, exactly. Yeah.
However, However, we all agree there is something biological that explains women's attitude to forget themselves. What's wrong with that? Is that not natural to care for others than ourselves?
I think the way we're built, I don't know whether it's biological. I think, yeah, maybe it is. Maybe there is something biological, that is in women, that it's the way we have been wired to nurture. I think we're designed to nurture. We're designed to nurture by nature. So by nature, we want to, you want to check up on people, you want to see how they are, and if you don't have boundaries and if you don't have, self-care in place, there is a tendency for you to forget about yourself. And then
Yes.
when you think about it, we do so much. I mean, one of the things that really used to upset me when and one of the reasons that led to what I do, why I do what I do, is because I meet a lot of women and the frustration when you talk to them. Oh, I am doing this, I'm doing, and sometimes you need to stop and ask yourself, why are you doing all of these things? Why are you doing all of these things? I'll give you an example. I remember when we just got together, my partner and I, and he would say things, and I would say, oh, I have to cook, I have to do this. And then one day he said to me, you don't have to. You don't have to, and it's like, oh, I don't have to? Really? Okay. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. 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 And, so for me, and, so a lot of women are in it's like a vicious cycle where you feel you must do this or where you feel compelled. I don't know whether the word is compelled or is just a natural thing for us to do. And then no, when nobody is doing for you, you get offended. Or when nobody is doing for you, you get frustrated. So my own take on this is please do for yourself. Do for yourself first. Yeah? Because I'm a believer and I believe that when you say you love other people, sometimes we need to check your own love meter, because you can only give what you have. You cannot give what you don't have. It's very difficult to give, something that you don't have. If you're not full of love, you can't give love. If you're not full of compassion, you can't give compassion. It's really, So for me, I know that people, when they hear self-love, they think, oh, that is really vain and that is really selfish. Actually, it's not. I know we're going to get into it further down the line, but I think biologically women are wired to nurture. And that gets us into a place where we are always doing, where we are always giving, where we don't know when to stop to say, okay, you know what? Let me check on myself first. How am I feeling today? I'm not feeling too good today. So I'm going to take a nap. A lot of us don't do that. A lot of us don't check in with our own needs. It's not because we don't want to, it's because we don't know how to.
This is going to hit home. You and I will get into big.
I know.
We have been Europeanized too much. They're going to get us. We are setting ourselves up for big trouble because
Oh,
let's
oh yeah. This is not a conversation you want to have in the middle of Africa somewhere. You're gonna get stoned. You and I are gonna get stoned. But we have to, people will say it's women liberation, but it's not women's liberation. I think it's a human thing for everybody to look after themselves. And somebody can ask you and say, okay, so is everybody's looking after themselves? Who's looking out for other people? You will look out for other people because you can only look out for people when you are well in yourself. If you're not well in yourself, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, physically, how do you want to go about looking after other people?
yeah, yeah. The thing is, we don't know how to. It's
Yeah.
really that we don't know how to. So if talking about this in Africa, they'll be thinking like, so what is self-love? Tell us.
Okay.
Papi, what's your sister? Tell me what
Well,
is self.
self-love, self-love, it's simple. I mean, I don't need to find a fancy definition for it. Self-love, according to Google, is having regard for your own well-being and happiness. So, and there is more to it, but in other words, you become responsible for what you think, for what you feel, and what you want. So you're not putting that onto somebody else. So for me as a relationship coach, this is one of the things I do. I meet a lot of women who go, those who are married, you go, oh, I want to change him. No, 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 no. You can't change anybody unless they want to change. You need to change yourself. Okay, you are not here to change the world. Well, we can change the world, but when it comes to changing individuals, I mean, come on, we're all set in our ways. Yes, we can change, but we only change when we come to the realization that what I'm doing is not serving me and not serving others, so I want to change. But you trying to change somebody else, it's a recipe for disaster. I've been there, I've tried it, it doesn't work. So self-love for me is having regard for your own well-being and your own happiness. So you're responsible for your happiness. You're responsible for your well-being. Yeah. And for me, it's important to live in well. Self-love is crucial if you want to live well because it influences everything. It influences how you choose or how you pick your partner, for instance. It influences the image that you project at work. I mean, I still work in the corporate world, and I know that I attract a lot of what do you call it? I attract a lot of attention, even from people around me, thinking, "Oh, Andrea, how you do things, how you do that." So it affects your image at work. It affects how you cope with problems in your life. Yeah. So I would say that self-love is this state of appreciation for yourself, and it will grow. You can learn. It's like a muscle. You start it, then you learn how to walk it, and then it becomes a lifestyle. Yeah. Yeah.
Now I understand you. I get you. It's clear to me. But now I'm taking it
Okay.
from an African woman's perspective. I mean, the real man here.
Okay.
You said self-love is, appreciation for yourself. And yeah, but I'm married. I have children.
Yeah.
I'm not loved. What do you mean by self-love again? What are you talking about? How do we go?
Okay.
How do we explain it to this woman that
Okay.
being married and having children is not the only self-love?
No. No. If to be honest with you, I would even take it back that it it doesn't matter where you are in life. It doesn't matter what your relationship status is. It
Yes.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I mean, for instance, my mom, she's 70, 74, and I talked to her, Mommy, you need to look after yourself. You've looked after everyone all these years. And even now, my mom, sometimes she doesn't know when to stop. she wants to do this for all the children, do this, and then she gets tired. So from time to time, I say, Mommy, you don't have to do that. So I think for us, it doesn't matter what your relationship status is. I think as a human being, you owe it to yourself to have what I call self-compassion. Yeah,
Yes.
you owe it to yourself to have compassion for yourself. The same way you have compassion for other people, the same way you look at, your loved one and say, "Oh, baby, I really wish I could do this for you." Do it for yourself.
Mm.
Okay? If you're going to bring somebody else a cup of tea, bring yourself a cup of tea. All right? So basically is the fact that anything that will support your physical, your mental, your emotional growth, then you need to do it. You need to apply that, to your own self.
And it's because of this lack of self-love that most women in Africa hold their children victims of their lives. I have done
Yeah.
this to you. I raised you. I spent all my money. I spent my time. Maybe the father
Yeah.
left. It's because of you that your father left me. It's because of you that I'm not married. It's because of you. And now that you have grown up, you forgot about everything I did for you. So they
Yes.
hold these children victims of their
Yes.
life. They think
Yes. Absolutely.
their children is their insurance that will pay for their retirement. That will always be
Mhm.
there. And they click their finger. This resentment builds up, it builds up and it builds up, and then you have this explosion between
Yes.
mothers and children or between spouses.
Absolutely.
So that is the outcome of what we, especially the African women, we've built for ourselves. And that's what awaits us, regrets that, oh, is this all that I have? Is this all that life is about now that I've, done all of this? And it gets onto
Mm.
our self-esteem.
Yeah.
What is,
Absolutely.
how does this affect our self-esteem and what is self-esteem in fact?
Well, I would say that self-esteem is a posh word for feeling good about yourself. Because when I used to run self-confidence workshop for parents in locally where I live, and we used to do these confidence workshops, and I would say to them that it's a posh word for feeling good about yourself. Basically, is self-esteem is how you perceive yourself and the value that you put on yourself. And I would say that you know, like you said, because a lot of our mothers are in that place, if they're not careful now, a place of resentment, because they've done so much, they've given so much into us that you know they we children now feel responsible for making them happy. And really it shouldn't be. Nobody else should be in charge of your happiness. You should be in charge of your own happiness. You should be calling the shots where your happiness is concerned. So if there's anything that is not going to make you happy, feel free to exit from that situation. Feel free to exit from that environment. And I hear you when you say that um, you know, it's the part of the nurturing thing, that leads us to overgive, even to our children. Even I say this in my house, I say it to my partner, and I say to him, sometimes we're breeding entitled children because we just want to keep giving. I want this, you can have it. I want that, you can have it. There's nothing wrong in that. But I think we need to put checks and balances in place sometimes. That it's not every time that you ask me for something that I should just jump up and go and get it for you. And it makes them feel entitled, and then we also feel we've done so much that
Yes,
in 20 years time you feel, you know what, you need to come and buy me a car now, you need to
exactly.
build a house for me, you need to do this, you need to do that. And I think it's the African thing in us. There's nothing wrong if your child is capable of doing it, but if your child is not capable of doing so, then you put them under pressure. You put them under pressure, and then it becomes a big thing for both of you, for both the parents and the children. So I think you and I and the other women in our circle, we have a responsibility, to help our generation of women to be responsible for their own happiness. Do what you want to do what you enjoy to do, and do it. Start doing it when the children are young. Don't spend all your life paying all your way for them to go to school. And then when you're 60, 70, you get upset. Enjoy your life as you go along. I mean, an example, over Christmas, my son was saying to me, Mommy, why did you buy yourself so many presents? I said, hello, you got yours, I got mine. It's like, so, he was like, why did you buy yourself so many presents, Mommy? You got so many presents. So yeah, I said, I bought present for myself. You bought me a present. Your dad bought me a present. I said, it's fair. It's fair game. You can't be the only one always getting presents and the whole under the tree. So for me, it's helped me to stop being irritable. It stopped me from being resentful even towards my partner, because I do things for myself and I love to do stuff for myself. And because I enjoy to do things for myself, I love to do things for him, and I love to do things for my son. I have friends and I love to do things for them. So, it helps me to be a better person. It helps me to be in a place of love. It comes from a place of love. I'm trying to practice love and sharing love and giving love, and I can only give as much as I have in my own tank, and that is what I have. Yeah. So yeah.
So how are these two things interwoven? Self-love and self-esteem. How are they interwoven? And if we
Okay. Well,
try to,
go on.
they become what are the advantages and disadvantages?
Okay. Well, when you practice self-love, I mean, basically, self-love is taking better care of your needs. That is how I put it. Yeah. When you do that, you find out that you're a happier person, and you would value yourself. And once you can value yourself, guess what? Your self-esteem goes up. You improve your self-esteem. You enjoy life better. You are able to interact better with other people. And when challenges come or when adversity comes, you're kind of, it's a kind of cushion, for you to be able to absorb the pain of whatever it is that comes your way. But if you don't have self-love in place and then something happens so suddenly, we're bound to feel, yes, that thing is not good, but there's a tendency for us to feel bitter and to feel, yes, why me? Why does this have to happen to me? So I feel self-love and self-esteem are interwoven, and they start to detach when you don't make self-love a priority. So when self-love is not your priority, when you don't have time for yourself, okay, when you can't create that space for yourself, even if I said to people that I work with who have a lot, I have clients who have like 4 or 5 children, and they're like, oh, Andrea, it's okay for you. You have one child. I said, it's not okay for me. Don't forget that my child doesn't have anybody to play with. I am the playmate. Yeah. So it's not any easier for me, but I just have to create time. I mean, there was a time that I said to my son, I'm going to spend 20 minutes with you. That's all I have. And it's because if I have to spend more than that, my head will start hurting me. So we create time in our schedule. And I say, oh, at 6:30, David, is our playtime. So we switch off all phones and computers and we play what you want to play with. Okay. So what it is when you neglect self-love, okay, the tendency that self-esteem is going to go down is very high, because they're interwoven, like you said. So yeah, you need to make self-love a priority. When you do that, your self-esteem goes up. The value that you have for yourself goes up. Automatically, the value that other people have for you also goes up, because don't forget that we're a mirror, and people will mirror what is going on for us and how we treat ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. I love it when you said, that's all I have. When 20 minutes, that's all I have for you. I love it.
That's all I have in a day.
That's a cool mama. I have only 20 minutes, guy. Well, you believe that it is important for women to flourish in their relationships, and it has a ripple effect on all other areas of life, including businesses. Does that include financial freedom?
Well, yeah, I would say in a sense. I mean, yes, because absolutely, I believe that if our relationships are not right, then there is a tendency that it would affect areas of our lives. And I'm saying this because obviously I'm a relationship coach, and I'm passionate about helping women to flourish in love. That is something that I am passionate about because when I'll give you an example. When I've had an argument with my partner, and you know, we shout at each other. There is no perfect relationship. Mine is not perfect. And a lot of other relationships are not perfect. So we do argue. And sometimes we do have, um, we do have talk to each other, or well, not talk to each other, talk at each other.
Yeah.
And when you have that and you get upset emotionally, if you have work to do, you can't really do your work
Yes.
because half of your mind is somewhere else. So automatically, I mean, when things like that, when we have situations like that in my house, I have to go back, you know, into a safe space and just regroup before I can even come and show up live on video, or before I can start reading or creating content, because that just totally throws me everywhere. If it's something maybe that I wasn't expecting, or we just got into an argument and it just totally upsets me, and I'm thinking, why are you okay? Fine, I can't think right now and I need to do my work. So when our relationship is not right, there's a tendency for it to affect other areas of our lives, including our business. It affects the children, it affects everything. You lose productivity on your business, automatically you will lose finances.
Yes. Yes.
You will lose finances. I mean, like now, a couple of days ago, I had an argument with my husband, and I went to bed. I couldn't sleep, and I
Yes.
was really mad. I was really upset. And that day, I was supposed to wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning, come downstairs, do a bit of writing, create content, sell my services. I couldn't. So automatically, I'm losing money because my relationship is not right. So for me, it is important that, and it's not just about your relationship with this one person that is your lover. You could be relationship with your siblings as well. If you're in a, if you're I mean, I'm one of four girls. When I have a quarrel with my siblings, when we have argument, I don't feel good.
Of course. Yeah.
I'm thinking, how can we settle this? Or even if it's with my parents, sometimes it just throws everything out of place. So, and it could even be with your colleague at work. I mean, we had a recent problem at work with one of our colleagues, and it just totally demoralized the team.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Because we were constantly firefighting and trying to make these two adults reason with one another, who are supposed to be working together on the project. But because they can't work together on the project, we had to put the project on hold, which means because we can't deliver on that project, at the end of the year, we're going to be losing money.
Yes. 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 I see your point. Yes, absolutely. Well, before we continue, I would really like to thank all our live viewers. Thank you so much for joining us. Please comment, ask questions. You have a specialist with you. And yeah, just let us know what you think about this conversation. How is your self love and self esteem affecting your business? And do you practice any form of self love at all? Let us know in the comment below, live or as a replay. Now, Andrea,
Okay.
what does financial freedom mean to you?
Okay. Before I answer that, I can still see, is this video on the AWIF page?
Yes,
Okay. Because I can't see it. I saw the old one that we we just did.
I did share it on your profile.
Okay, thank you so much for that. All right. Okay. So, what does financial freedom mean to me? Financial freedom for me means having options. I want to have options. I want to have options. I want to be able to do what I want, when I want, and how I want it, without the need of checking my bank balance every minute.
Exactly.
So that's for me is financial freedom.
Thank you so much. And by having options, you also have the option of taking care of yourself, of practicing yourself,
Yeah, more.
and buying yourself so many presents for Christmas. Why?
No, my son, he wasn't happy at all this last Christmas, but I made up my mind. You know what, Andrea? I'm going to focus on me this year. I mean, I focus on them too, but I was the first person I bought my own present this year. So, and that felt really good. So,
Oh,
and then I went around and bought their presents. So there you go.
great, Great.
Mm.
So, how can we women start investing in ourselves so we can gain financial freedom? With all the information you've given us on self love and self esteem, on thinking to recharge our batteries first, how can we start investing in ourselves so that,
Well, I mean, I think, the thing about it is we've spoken a lot about self-love, we've spoken about self-esteem. I think the bottom line is when you're happy, when you're in a happy space, then your creative juices will flow. Then you can think, then you can, that is when you can think. If you're not in a good place emotionally, if you're not in a good place mentally, if you're not in a good place physically, it's difficult for you to think, oh, okay, what can I do to make more money? Or how can I, um, how can I start investing so that I can have financial freedom? So I think it's important that we are in a good place emotionally, that we're in a good place mentally, that we're in a good place physically. So generally, the whole well-being thing, has to be we have to be in a good place for us to be able to think. I was speaking to one of my clients last week, and I just sensed that she was overwhelmed. So and I said to her, I sense that you feel there's a sense of overwhelm. And she said, thank you, that yeah, you spotted that right. I said, yes. I said, because I was praying for you and I felt that you're overwhelmed. And she said, yes. She said, I don't have time for myself. I haven't been able to even touch the business. I haven't been able to do this. So when we are like that, it's difficult to make multiple streams of income. I believe that we should have multiple streams of income of, various things so that we're not tied into maybe our job or into the one business. I believe that we can have passive, we can have, all kinds of income that are feeding in from everywhere, but you need to be in a good place.
yeah.
Well, in terms of well-being, for you be able to even think about having multiple streams of income.
Great, I love it. And we have Sandra with us. Sandra, thanks for joining us. She's a valuable
Hey.
speaker. Please tell us what you think about our discussion. How is your self-love and self-esteem? Do you need, Andrea, do you need some talking? Do you need some advice and some push to make 2018 the most amazing year?
Yes.
If you do, Sandra or anybody else watching this live or as a replay, you can always find Andrea right here. Her link is on the screen. Please get in touch with her. Get some juicy information on how to really keep yourself in balance these years so you can flourish with your business. And if you also like to get in touch with us, please by all means do so. Contact us by Facebook or by email. Now,
Excellent.
what is you've given us so many tips, so many advice here today. But what is one crucial advice that you would like each one of us to take home with us today?
Well, I would say, we need to, one advice that I want to share with today's audience is you need to look at yourself and ask yourself, what is it that I am doing that is no longer serving me? Okay? Because one of the things for me this year is to take action. And in order for you to take action, you need to know what it is that you want to take action on. So what I would say is if you look at yourself and you think to yourself, you know what, this is not working for me. You need to know what is not working for you. Yeah. So it might be a behavior pattern. It might be that, for example, you can't say no to people. Then you need to look at that because that is affecting your business. That is affecting your output. That is affecting, even your personal life. So you need to look and ask yourself, what are the things, in 2018 that I want to do differently? There's a saying that if you keep doing the same thing and expecting a different result, that is the definition of insanity. And we can't continue to do the same thing and expect a different result. So we need to start doing things differently. Yeah. So I would say, please look inwards. And if there's anything at all that is not serving you, yeah, from within, or something in that has been a part of you over the years, and that thing is holding you back from full expression of who you really are, then you need to write that out. I would say write that out, and then write out steps and things that you think you want to do differently and how you want to do it differently this year.
Great. We will stay in contact. We will stay in touch because I know you have a lot to provide to this.
Oh,
And
yes.
it's time for the African woman to really take her life in her
Yes.
hands.
Absolutely.
The husband is not your guarantee.
No.
He can leave you anytime he wants. He could also die. Okay?
Yes.
Just like you and I, just like anybody else. Your children are not your possession. Anything can happen. And let's remember that these children of ours also have a life that they have to live.
Yes. Absolutely.
By us putting on so much burden on them that you have to come and take care of me. We're killing two generations because one, we are not happy. We're expecting, and the next generation will not be happy because somebody is expecting from them. How long can this go on? You and I and many other women in Africa will experience this obligation that you have because somebody did not love themselves, because somebody did not take care of themselves. They couldn't have the life that they want, business that they wanted, because there was no self-love and their esteem is not as good as you and I today. So it's time we stop. It's not a selfish act. If you really want to love other people, if you really want to love them, start loving yourself. Because you're not only loving them by giving them what you have, you're teaching them what's good for them as well.
Yes.
We have a comment from Sandra. I knew she was going to comment. She's a star.
Hi, Sandra.
See if we can. Yes, I need advice and information on how to invest wisely. What is it we must take note of and what we must run away from? Because there is so much scam going around in this era, and a lot of us African women are falling victims. Are there forums available where we can be taught about how to really create this stream of income, and where there's a list of legit places? So those are two different things that she's talking about, but I get her point.
Yes.
Because self-love and self-esteem leads to some ripple effects. As you said, one of them is financial freedom. So she wants to know how to create this financial freedom. But yet, as you said, we must learn first to love ourselves. So Sandra, by all means, this is the contact of Andrea. Get in touch with her and you can see what's feasible for you, if there is a match, and if she can advise you or if she can coach you through it. As per income stream, this is at AWIF. You can contact you can contact us. You know where to find us. But before you contact us, I would prefer you speak first to Andrea. She is especially who is going to get you set, make you grounded, so you can receive what you really want to receive in your life. We have another comment from Riato, who we had last week.
Oh, hi, Lerato. Yes, I remember watching you guys last week while I was in the office.
We need more of these conversations, but action-based workshops. There we go. Andrea.
Fabulous.
We are planning.
Yes, Lerato. I'm happy to run workshops. I run workshops online. In London, and I do run workshops online. So if you let me know what kind of conversations you want us to have, and then I can run workshops around those conversations. Yes, I'm happy to do that. So I will send you a friend request, and then we'll get in touch.
Exactly, and that's her link, just in case. You can find her on all social media platforms, especially Facebook. She does go live every week. several
Yeah, I
times.
try to do 3 days, 3 days a week. Yeah, on my page, Flourish in Love with Andrea Onodeko. So yeah, so I do 3 days, 3 mornings on there. Yeah, live videos.
Exactly. So yes, I mean,
Mhm.
we have all the data. If you need more information, let us know. And Andreas, please, please, please keep encouraging us, keep motivating
Thank
us
you.
as you do. We need you, Africa need you, and I adore you. Thank you. From the
Thank
bottom of my heart. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Lillian, for having me. It's such a pleasure to chat to you. I
Thank you.
I know that you're busy and everybody is busy, but thank you for what you do and thank you for putting African women in the spotlight. And I believe that together we can make Africa great again. Thank you.
Yes, and we will. Thank you so much
Yeah.
and have a great day.
You too. Thank you. Bye bye. Love you.
Thank you. So thank you all for watching live, and those of you who will be watching as a replay, please comment, contact Andrea if you need any help. We are here for you. And remember, you are not a drop in the ocean. You are the ocean in a drop. You deserve everything that you dream of. Nothing is too much for you. We always put ourselves at the back. We always take care of others before we take care of ourselves. And we have to learn to love ourselves and let go of those that we love. Take care. My name is Lilian Mole, and I'll catch you in the next live stream. Have a great weekend. Bye.